Yo, what is good YouTube? I'm Richie Kim, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on the Adidas Trae Unlimited 2. Before we get started, if y'all enjoy sneaker content just like this, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below, and also hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this one. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Trae Unlimited 2 features a dual traction pattern. So what you're gonna get in the translucent rubber areas is this herringbone traction pattern. And then right here in the forefoot, where the solid red rubber is, you get this radial pattern. And overall, I would say that the traction on here is pretty good. If you are playing on your clean courts, you are gonna have no problems whatsoever. You're gonna have very good stops. If you are playing on your dustier courts, you still have pretty good stops. Just make sure that you do wipe the shoe occasionally. Otherwise, you might have some slides to a stop. But yeah, as long as you maintain consistent wiping, like after a couple plays, I would say that overall, you're gonna have a very good experience with the traction, even on those dustier courts. I never had any issues of completely sliding out or anything. So yeah, traction is good. As far as outdoor durability goes, personally, I wouldn't recommend it, especially this red part or the solid red rubber. It is softer and the grooves are thinner, so you might have some durability issues if you play with these outdoors a lot. So yeah, I wouldn't wear these outdoors, but I think if you did want to use them outdoors, it will perform well. It just won't last very long. Overall, the traction on the Trae Unlimited 2 was pretty solid. So moving on to the cushion, the Trae Unlimited 2, at least according to the Adidas website, this is supposed to feature Light Strike, but I don't think this feels like Light Strike at all. Me personally, I think this is Bounce, maybe something else in there as well, but there's definitely Bounce. Like, I don't think this is Light Strike. So what you're gonna get in the heel with this thick cushion is you're gonna have a decent amount of compression, and you will actually feel like a nice subtle bounce back, which is very, very good. In the forefoot, you do have a more dead feeling cushion with a very, a little bit of bounce and a little bit of impact protection. But in the forefoot, it is definitely more responsive feeling. I wouldn't say you feel very low to the ground because you do have a pretty substantial thickness of the bounce cushion or whatever cushion setup they're using in here. It's definitely not low to the ground feeling, but you are pretty responsive in the shoe. So yeah, like I said, Adidas says this is Light Strike, but I honestly don't think this is Light Strike. It just feels more like Bounce. And in terms of, the overall cushion setup, I think it's perfectly fine. This feels very in line with Adidas's past budget model cushion setups. And with Bounce, you're getting a pretty resilient cushion setup and feels pretty good, especially for the price as well. So yeah, when it comes to the cushion setup in here, I honestly have no complaints and I think it's perfectly fine. So moving on to the materials, the Trae Unlimited 2 features a basically entire mesh upper, and it is definitely reinforced with something. It definitely feels a little bit stiff and crispy, but on top of the mesh, you also have these synthetic leather panels for extra durability and reinforcement. So yeah, in terms of a material standpoint, from a quality aspect, it could have been nicer, although I will say that the synthetic leather hits actually do give the shoe a more premium touch. But in terms of, performance, it gets the job done very, very well. The materials do a great job of, making sure your foot is nice and locked in, which I'll get to in the support. But yeah, obviously, in terms of the quality, it could be better, but for this price point, I'm really not going to complain. As you move towards the tongue, you do have this textile tongue. It kind of feels like a nylon, and it is adequately padded. So if you do like to crank down your laces, you won't feel the laces digging into your foot. Another cool thing about the materials about this shoe is they were pretty strategic in where they kind of use the leather or the synthetic leather or whatever it is. Because what's really cool is you do have the 3 stripes over here, and the 3 stripes is made of leather, but not only is it a premium touch, but it also serves as reinforcement for these laces as well. So you won't be busting through these holes when you do crank down your laces. So, I thought they did a really good job of the material usage on here in terms of the performance aspect. But obviously in terms of the quality, it could have been better. But for the price point, I have absolutely zero complaints. So moving on to the fit, I would say that the Trae Unlimited 2 does run a half size big. I'm a slightly wide footer and I went true to size, and I definitely had some extra length in the toe box area lengthwise. But when it comes to the width, I felt very, very good. So my take is, if you have normal feet or narrow feet, I think you all should go down a half size, and I think you'll have a very good fit. If you have slightly wide feet, you could either go down a half size or go true to size. And if you have really wide feet, you might want to go true to size or up a half size, just depending on how wide and how wide your feet are, or your foot shape. But that is what I think will probably give you the best fit. So for me, I think I personally could have gone down a half size. I think the width still would have been fine, maybe just a little bit narrow, and I feel like the materials would break in anyways. So yeah, that's what I think. But outside of that, I thought the fit was still pretty good. The materials do a very nice job of lying over the foot. I would say that the toe box is pretty snug. One thing I wish this shoe did have is either a lace loop, or I wish that they kind of used semi-booty construction, because this tongue is literally only connected down here. And sometimes I do catch the tongue sliding around a little bit, but I mean, besides that, it didn't really hinder the fit or anything. So yeah, I thought the Trae Unlimited 2 fit very well. Just make sure you all get your right size, and I don't think you'll have any issues in the fit department. So moving on to the support, I really only had one issue with the support in the Trae Unlimited 2, and it does come in the heel area. I experienced a little bit of heel slippage in both my shoes again. Not just my right shoe, but both. And I'm actually kind of shocked, because you do have like this internal heel sleeve, which is supposed to, I guess, like fill in the room and just lock down your heel a little bit better. But yeah, I did have a slight heel slippage issue. Nothing major. I didn't have my heel or my foot completely slip out of the shoe or anything like that. It was just like more of that annoying feeling that sits in the back of your head when you do take a step in the shoe. You just feel the heel slip just a little bit. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. However, when it comes to the rest of the shoe, I had zero issues. I didn't have any side-to-side movement on the footbed. The materials do a great job of making sure your foot is nice and planted. In terms of the lateral stability, this is a fairly wide base, and this midsole protrudes out a lot, which acts as an outrigger to make sure you are covered so you don't roll over on those hard lateral movements. And when it comes to the torsional rigidity and stability, you are covered there as well. I'm not 100% sure if there is a shank plate in here, but I would assume there is. This is a slightly decoupled outsole, so I'm assuming that there is some sort of plastic piece in here that is acting as that shank. So yeah, I mean, overall, the support was pretty good. It's just that minor heel slippage that's more of an annoyance than anything. But yeah, there is that minor heel slippage in the shoe, but everything else in terms of the support was great. So the Trae Unlimited 2 retails for $95, and for $95, I do think you're getting a pretty solid shoe. This pretty much does a little bit of everything. The only real gripe that I had with this shoe is that minor heel slippage. And that's just me, right? Like, you all might not have that issue. And if you don't, this is a great shoe. $95 is in that budget price. And, this is probably comparable to other budget shoes. There are a couple that I think are better than this particular pair, but by no means does that mean this is a bad shoe. I still think this is a very solid shoe. The traction is great. The cushion is pretty much what you'd expect. And the support, the materials, all that stuff is pretty good. If you do have a heel slippage issue in this shoe, let me know in the comments down below, because I am very curious if this is just a me thing or if other people are experiencing the same problems. But yeah, I mean, if you wanted to cop a pair of these, I'll leave a link for you down in the description box below. But yeah, Trae Unlimited 2, fairly solid performer, and if you can get these even cheaper than that retail of $95, I would say definitely go pick up a pair. I don't think you'll be disappointed. That's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button down below, and also smash that thumbs up button for me, as it really does help me out. While you're at it, check out these videos over here, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.